podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and DetroitRadio.com. Original.
Yoinks! And away!
Basic.
Yoinks! And away!
First edition.
Yoinks! And away!
And then...
I says, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down.
Welcome to Thacoshammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
Yeah, 3,000 experience points per second level.
Don't worry, we'll carry you.
I'm gonna just sit in the back.
Sit in the
I
back
will be
and
the strongest person in the party, and he's in the back.
he's in the back taking the kobolds. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that's wonderful. Hi, folks. Thacoshammer number 42. This is DM Glen presiding over the madness again, and we also have DM Corey.
Who put you in charge? Yeah,
I
what's
did.
up, everybody?
And also DM Brian.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a really wacky, crazy Saturday night because we're four wild and crazy guys. Sorry.
I am not a guy.
Oh, that's true.
And if you hear a new voice, no, that's not Julie. This is DM Allie. DM
Nor
Allie.
is that full on.
Nor is that full on. It was awesome. Yeah.
Full on, who has one of the most masculine voices I've ever heard. Yeah, and he sounds like that.
Sorry,
He
full
sounds
on.
like sounds like an alto
Full on.
soprano.
Do you have a cold, full on?
Oh
I
man.
just have really tight underwear on. Thank you for asking.
That's, something like that is sitcom. That's always the standard answer. Well, I got a cold.
Yeah. Oh
That'd
my
be
goodness.
one heck of a cold, I'm telling you.
Oh.
It's a chest cold. Look how swollen it is.
Oh, shit.
Dude.
Come
Okay.
on. Go there.
Oh, I'm not saying nothing. Okay.
Wait, let's go to hits and grits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque Louis Paradise. Miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and crits. Okay, hits and crits. Oh, this is going to be an interesting question this week. Corey, what did you do in gaming this week?
Wrote more of the campaign for the 2 campaigns I'm running. Supposed to have a game tonight, but for some reason, inexplicably, new word for the day, no one showed up. Not even a call, not even dude. My wife had to paint the lawn or, anything like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no excuses whatsoever, no explanation, just everyone just didn't show. So I got my other group tomorrow. This week, though, I got back from Epicon from last weekend. This is why I wasn't on the last show.
I heard it was kind of dead over there.
It wasn't dead. It was more lax. A lot of people didn't show up. They usually say that the springtime one's a lot less busy than the winter one. Thank God our producer wasn't there.
Yeah.
I didn't have to see our favorite first edition Grognard there, but it was pretty cool. I got some. I picked up some cool swag from the auction. Everybody brings in used crap that they don't want and auctions it all off, and it goes to 50% of it goes to
Charity.
a charity. Or you can just have the entire thing. You can just give up the item and then they auction it off. I picked up the 2nd edition, second printing with the yellow on the black binding, DM's guide. Picked up 3 well-chewed Monsters Compendium softbacks, the appendix, one of them from Mystara and one of them or 2 of them that are just the generic black cover. I got each of them. I got the whole set of 3 of those for $1.
Right.
I picked up the complete priest handbook for $1. Brand new. Spine's never been cracked.
Wow. Brand new for $1. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not
no
bad.
one bid on it. No one bid on it, which it surprised me. I was like, I'm sitting there listening to the bidding, and no one's bidding. And they're like, anybody? $1. I let the fighter's handbook go by and the wizard's handbook go by until finally I ran up to the bidding table, and I'm like, give me one of those bidding numbers. I want to bid. And they're like, why? I'm like, obviously no one's bidding. Let me get some bids in here. So, but I got the priest handbook. took that out of nobody's hand, literally. So I got that for $1, and something else I got. Oh, the 3.5. I guess it's 3.5. It's some introduction module box set. Just says Dungeons and Dragons Adventure, and it has a bunch of their main characters that they put in the player's handbook of them busting through a door or whatever. It says the adventure begins. I got that for $1. So picked up some cool swag.
That was all that. That was that introductory thing.
Yeah. It's like a little box set, but it's first thing you open up is you open it up and there's a yellow piece of paper and it says first things first. Who's going to be the DM? And I'm like, okay, this is an introduction thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got that. I played Mordheim, brought up all my miniature buildings and set them all up and let 2 of my buddies play. They used my artwork for the t-shirt, but other than that, my week was pretty full.
Sounds it. Well, I've been, it was my birthday last Thursday.
Happy birthday.
Which means, thank you.
Happy birthday.
55, thank you. So that means I got gaming stuff.
It's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, she let me cruise. She gave me a nice dinner, let me cruise half price, got me a Volo's Guide to Waterdeep and 2 Poor Wizards Almanacs, 1 and 2.
Always awesome.
And I picked up the Book of Marvelous Magic for $1 at my game store.
Yeah, that's a steal.
Yeah.
The inside's okay, but the cover looked like it had been laying in somebody's back seat on the floor for about a year.
Yeah.
I bet that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I don't really need this because I got the Encyclopedia Magica.
Yep.
Magica, but the first thing I saw was Mentor and Gygax. I want it.
Yep. Because hey, you can bring that beat up piece of junk to North Texas, and Michael signed it for you.
He sure will. Thank you for reminding me. And I'm also supposed to be getting a 5th edition copy of Call of Cthulhu from Ancient Gamer so I can have Sandy Peterson sign it.
Oh, now
cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Now, if you guys got anything like maybe an old box of like Doom or anything else you want me to get people signed, just look at let's listen to North Texas RPG Con and watch all the guests are going to be listening to this. I'm not signing anything from him. But yeah, I'll have him sign the stuff and send it back to you. It's not funny.
What was that?
Yes. And all eyes now turn to Allie. What have you been doing this week?
Oh my. Getting ready for tonight, which didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to dig out all of my old stuff, actually. I have found bits and pieces of other characters that I've had for NPCs that I haven't seen in ages.
Oh, what, like Katsumi?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Sorry. Reference to the solo game I ran her in back in, oh God, how long ago was that? That was, what, late 90s?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have not had, I had a child and have not had much time since.
That's
I
true.
understand that.
Children tend to eat into your gaming time. It's very true.
And some children tend to eat into your gaming materials.
That's true too.
No, my child never endangered my gaming materials. No, I leave that to the neighbors.
Oh yeah, God. True story, folks. True story. True story.
Is she throwing her dice at the neighbors again?
No.
No.
I'm pretty sure if it meant that they wouldn't do stupid things and wreck her apartment by their stupidity, she would.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Nice.
Got into my apartment twice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Brian?
Oh, I'm looking at the notes and modules and characters sitting here waiting to be used for our game, which was, I thought we were going to have it tonight, but we're down a man, so
we're down a full-on.
Yeah, down a full-on gamer, yeah. So, one thing I did find while we were all sitting around talking and, figuring out what we're going to do is there's a Google Hangout app called Tabletop Forge. And basically what it is is that it's sort of like marrying Google Hangouts with its voice capability and video if you can capability with a whiteboard program, and so everybody can we can talk by voice, run the game by voice, no problem, but we'll also have a whiteboard to back it up for a combat and things like that. So that everybody sees what's going down, and then we just go from there. And it's completely edition neutral from what I've read of it.
Good.
So
that's interesting.
I'm going to probably recruit one of you guys. Probably, I have Tuesday and Wednesday off this week coming up.
I'm off Wednesday.
All right. Well, let's get together and let's experiment with this thing. See what we can do with
together.
You guys do.
I love you,
like
Corey,
to-
but not like that.
That's not true. I saw you. You failed your save.
I'm immune to charm. What are you talking about? I have help protecting me.
Not mine, baby.
One more thing I wanted to add. When I went and got that Book of Marvelous Magic, I was at the game store with my grandson and his friend, and I got to talk to my friend Mike, who works there, who used to be my old DM when I was playing 3.5. We had an interesting conversation. He's not exactly cutting edge because he doesn't like 4th, but he really likes Pathfinder.
I will begrudgingly give that game system and that company a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Simply because they have turned 3.5 around and their version is respectable in my opinion. I like it. Being a second edition grognard, I do like Pathfinder.
But anyway, he's kind of, it's like he'll get the latest stuff. And I knew I was in trouble when I told him I was going to North Texas RPG Con, which he constantly referred to as Old Fogey Con.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nothing like
the guys who used to work for TSR 25 years ago go there and bore everybody and he's talking about the guys who do the artwork for 4E now in Pathfinder. And it's like, and they go there and get an autograph from Errol Otis, who does like cartoons.
Ooh, and that's the wrong person to say that to too.
Don't let me meet this guy.
So I mean, okay.
Don't let me meet this guy.
Yeah, well, no, it was a nice civilized. I mean, I'm kind of like, live and let live type of thing. It's like, all right, fine, you play your game, I'll play mine. I told him, I almost said, why aren't we playing anymore? I said, I know why we're not playing anymore, just hearing that. So it was an interesting cover, not quite antagonistic, but not quite respectable either.
Right.
I mean, it was right there on the edge, because I still like the guy and
I
stuff.
call that a kicking the peen conversation.
I mean, I went in there looking for like an old edition of Call of Cthulhu and stuff, and one time I was looking for other OSR stuff, and he's like, they have these new games called 4th edition D&D, and you can do. He's all about the customization.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen 4th edition.
I said,
I understand it and respect it, because he's all about. I kept going. You can do it for the role playing. You can do it with the role playing. He's like, no. I need to know exactly. And says, all right, whatever. So I had to just walk away.
Yeah. It's just one of those. You're not going to change his mind. He's set on what he's set on. But now he understands how we feel when 3rd edition came out.
Oh, he also get this. He also said, okay, let's see. What did I make off of you? $1?
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude.
Ron, the owner, was in the other room at the time, and I said, excuse me, do you own stock in this store? Okay.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I also want to say, I want to go out to Drama Man.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't play our Oriental Adventures game tonight because his father died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Condolences, man.
Yeah.
So,
thoughts and
That's
prayers.
rough.
Prayers for you in your time of sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And looking out for your kid.
Yep.
So let's go to emails.
Okay, we can do that. All right, we have a voicemail.
Yep.
I think this is from DM Joe. I know I said last episode that one was from DM Joe, but it's not.
Okay.
Yo, Joe.
Yeah, Yo Joe.
Oh,
All right. Oh. Waka waka waka.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey.
Okay, so give me a moment while I set this up so you guys can hear what he's saying.
Sure.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Okay, hang on.
Hey guys, DM Kojo. First of all, I'd just like to thank you all for answering all my crazy questions when I call. Your insight is very valuable. Second of all, I just wanted to comment on cleric freecasting, something I know you guys have talked about in the past. I've had some struggles with cleric freecasting as a concept in my game. I feel like it maybe overpowers the cleric a little bit too much, unbalances things in a way that I'm not comfortable with. But I came up with a compromise, and I allow my clerics to freecast only with their bonus spells gained from high wisdom. Therefore, some of their spells they have to specifically pray for every day, and other spells, if they've got the high enough wisdom and some bonus spells depending on their level, then they can freecast those spells as long as they have the appropriate level to cast spells of that spell level. So I thought that was a fair compromise and just wondered what you guys thought about that. Keep up the good work. Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you, Coach Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Coach, yeah.
What do you think, Allison?
I kind of like that idea, actually.
Really?
I think it is a very good compromise. It actually gives you, what am I trying to say? You're getting bonuses for having a higher wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And it seems more realistic to me that with that higher wisdom would come that ability that somebody with a lower wisdom might not have. They might actually have to pray for their spells every day. Where with
Right.
somebody with that boost in their wisdom, with that connection to their god, so to speak.
Yeah, I was going to say it kind of reflects being favored by their god a little bit.
Yeah, that connection, they would be granted those extra spells to use as they see fit.
Mm-hmm.
It strikes. Go ahead, Glenn. You first.
No, I was going to say I agree. I just say I agree with her. I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable compromise because I never, as I've said, we've talked about free casting before, as he said, I've always allowed it, and it actually makes the cleric a lot more useful than just, walking around with,
A
9 or 10.
Band-Aid dispenser.
Exactly, 9 or 10 healing spells being a walking aid station, exactly.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
no, I was going to say, this is actually a good compromise between doing it by the book and just going completely the other way with free casting. So, yeah, I think that's a very good way of handling it.
What do you think, Corey?
I don't know. He's saying recast, or is he saying
Free cast.
Free cast.
Free cast.
FREE cast.
Okay.
Spontaneous casting.
I get that. Is he saying that they're able to spontaneously cast that like in the same, I guess, segment?
No, he's just saying he uses the bonus spells that a cleric gets for high wisdom, and those spells, like if you have an 18 wisdom, it's like 2 first, 2 second, 1/3, 1/4. Those can be free cast.
At any time.
Yeah, at any time,
Any spell. So
right,
you don't have to pray for those.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a lower wisdom and you don't have those things, you have to pray for all your spells, and that's what you get.
Right.
So what happens when they cast them?
It's the same thing as your other, like when your other spells, you pray for, you do your prayers to your god to be able to cast the spells for the day, and you would just have those slots empty for a situation that comes up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, okay, then if that's the case, then yeah, I agree. It's a good compromise, a good idea. Me, on the other hand, I do my clerics a little differently. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, as far as what he's saying, if he's going by the book and he's doing this as a compromise for free casting for his additional wisdom spells, it's a great idea. It's a great way to get around to make them more useful than just like what we said, a walking Band-Aid dispenser. And
I'll tell you right now. Here's the controversial part. I wouldn't mind extending that to wizards.
Oh, what giving the? You know what?
The extra spells, let him free cast them.
Yeah. You know what? I think I had a DM back when I was living on the east coast of Florida. I think I had a DM who actually ran it that way, and the cleric in the party was always a lot more useful than just the normal cleric would have to like think about. Okay, how many would I need for healing? How many do I need for detecting evil or detecting magic and things like that.
And then there's battle prep.
Yeah.
You know, you never know when you're going to go into battle. You never know what's going to happen or what. You have a cleric who's totally got nothing to give you,
Mm-hmm.
And you're facing something that's going to kill you.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And if, extending it to wizards too, you can do like, okay, that's a compromise. We're saying, oh my God, the wizard's going to overpower the party if he can free cast. Well, just let him cast those 2 or 3 spells.
Yeah.
It's just it reflects the idea of, well, he's so smart and he's so good at early on that these 2 or 3 spells he could just toss off.
Yeah. It's like a prodigy.
See,
Yeah.
in my campaign, the way I run it, my clerics don't need to memorize their spells. They do their clerical things. They do their prayers. They do their kissing of the mantle and doing their different rituals as their hours of prayer. They can cast their spells at will, but the difference is those high wisdom additional spells can be cast, but only from their primary spheres.
Mm-hmm. The ones they have major access to?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
But they can free cast at will any spell. Essentially, in my opinion, what a cleric would do, being a follower of a certain god and an adventurer, he wouldn't go, well, I'm going to ask God for a sanctuary spell because I have a feeling in the future today we're going to get caught. No, he's going to pray to his God and go, dear Lord, please get me the hell out of here. Please save me. Do something to save. And he's going to ask to be saved of a certain situation. Yep. He's going to be able to ask, and it would be the God's whim of essentially what would come out of it. To me, that's how I run my clerics.
Sense.
Yeah.
And the high wisdom number of spells in addition, I've actually given to my wizards, but they may only be cast from their preferred schools.
It's like, you figure out how many spells are in the first level, second level, whatever, and roll the appropriate die every time you need. And it's just, okay, I know this. Yeah, well, this is what your God's giving you today.
What a lot of my players don't know is when my players play their clerics and they're praying for their spells and they're role playing and casting spells, I picked something out of a dungeon or dragon magazine a while back called Piety Points, and I actually use piety points. If you follow what your God does, if you do what you're supposed to do and don't do what you're not supposed to do, you get piety points. So when you ask for a favor from your God and you're like, listen, I'm your direct alley or connection to your God, I need this, can you give it to me? I check the piety points. If it's high enough, guess what, your prayers are answered and you get to see a miracle. If not, phone line.
So it's sort of like it's like a spell point system for priests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your devotion is very important to us. Please continue to hold.
Exactly. All avatars are currently busy with other clerics
in other multiverses.
I need
enjoy this chant while we.
But yeah,
I need this. I'm sorry, your deity is in another castle.
Oh, yeah, but as far as Zojo, you doing that? If you're going by the book with your cleric, that's cool. It's a great compromise. And Glenn had a good idea giving it to your wizards as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It only helps the party because nobody likes to be the first level wizard who casts one first level magic missile spell, and now he has staff to rely on for the rest of the day.
Much less.
Or darts.
It's much harder.
Points of damage. Look,
Okay.
I'm basically annoying him now for you.
Okay, what else we got in emails?
Okay, we have one from a new emailer to the show, Raymond P. Jablonski, and that's his real name.
Hi, Raymond.
Jablonski?
Yeah, Jablonski. I am not lying.
That's an awesome last name.
Yes, it is. He says, "Greetings, oh great wielders of the hammer." That's a good point. He's buttering us up. This is good. Okay, first off, yeah, it's a very good start. First off, I would like to say, keep up the good work you guys are doing and keep the episodes coming. I've been listening since the beginning and loving it.
It's getting better. Go on.
It's getting better. He says, he parenthesizes his next sentence. He says, I would love it if they were as regular as RFI, but I understand that work and personal commitments come first. Raymond, you have no idea.
And believe me, there's stuff that goes on behind RFI you don't know. But anyway, go ahead.
Ooh,
You airing dirty laundry about show A on show B? Naughty Glenn.
We're all one big cat.
Here's the man who goes on.
Kumbaya.
I'm the man who goes on sod, and half the time I accidentally put out the Thacoshammer email.
Yeah, but that's by accident. That was intentional.
That's subconsciously telling them that what show is superior. That's all that is.
Why else would they make a second edition? Oops, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Oh, sorry. Disclaimer time. We at Thacoshammer do not bash other editions, even though we may have problems with the people who play them.
I found my first cut in the editing. Okay.
Oh, jeez, I can't believe I said that. Wow. I have better control of my thoughts than that. I apologize.
What else does he have to say, Brian?
Okay. He has a couple questions for us. He says, first, I'm looking to get a group back together after many years. Most haven't played since the 90s. Is it wise for them to start at first or second level to get them back into the swing of it, or slightly higher up, such as 5th to 6th, and hope that they can get back into the game? That's his first question.
Second, no, I'm sorry. I thought he said addition.
Oh boy, here we go.
I would say it depends on how well they played the first time around.
I agree.
Does he remember how they played the first time?
Yeah, we're talking something close to 20 years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? And this is something I just decided to do with the AP podcast and otherwise. And I think, Allie, you're the last person that I ran a game for that I started off at first level, because it's one of those things where, and maybe I'm being a softie, but when I see players who spend a lot of time putting personalities and backgrounds and stuff into their characters and make these really interesting personalities, have really good dynamics, Tango and Cash style maybe, or Lethal Weapon kind of thing.
Gimli and Legolas.
Exactly. And
Larry and Curly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just loath to just kill them off because I'm having so much fun watching them interact with each other. It's like Glenn in our AP podcast, you and Full On. You two definitely make an odd couple. Yeah, I know. Yeah, two of you play off each other. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to listen to. And then Allie comes in, who's a really good role player. And, like I've said, I think on my list of all the people I played with over the last 20 years, I'd say Allie is number 2 on that list.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've said
he's number 1.
No, I'm not, actually.
Always prefers to
Allie knows who's number 1 on that list. But,
Bill O'Reilly?
No. I could never see Bill O'Reilly playing D&D. Are you crazy?
I'm hanging up now.
Well, we know where Corey's political leanings lie. But anyway,
anarchist?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I've just decided to say, okay, you guys can play whatever you want. 5,000 experience points right up top. That'll put as low as second level for a mage. Mm-hmm. No, actually, it'll put them right at third for a mage. Mm-hmm. And then like 4th for a thief. So nice. Usually everybody's between 2nd and 4th level already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like fighter be the high end there.
The thief actually would be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 15, 3.
What do you think, Corey? First, second, or higher?
It depends. I mean, if I haven't played with the people for a while, or they're new players that I haven't played with, I'll do first.
Yeah.
If it's my normal group of guys and they just put their last level 15 guy into their folder of like 800 characters, and we're ready to play again. And these are guys that I've been playing with for years. I'm starting at level 5.
Corey, can I say something?
Yeah.
How do you know how I operate? We've only known each other for about a year and a half to 2 years.
We're like-minded souls on the same path through the cosmos.
Okay.
But I'm not holding you on the bow of the Titanic. But anyway.
Oh no, I would never ask. If I ask for that, you have full permission to shoot me.
But
he'll
anyway,
hold you on the bow of the Titanic and drop you.
Yeah, it'll just hold me over his head and chuck me over the side. That's exactly.
If you're floating on a door, I'm kicking you off and getting on my dick. That's all I'm saying.
I'm king of the world.
Anyway, but yeah, my normal vet crew will start at level 5. Guys that I know that can handle their characters and know what to do from level 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start at like a higher level just because I'm gonna get past the whole. Yay! End of the session. We leveled again next weekend. End of the session. We leveled again. It's like, okay, we're getting past these levels. Let's, get your guys some experience under their belts. You know what to do between levels 1 through 5.
And they can take a hit or two.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there's one more thing. The other reason why I would bring someone at higher level is if I'm running a game that's already up there in level, like say average characters like 7th level or 8th.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to bring in a first level character. I mean, yeah. I've heard arguments back and forth on Dragon's Foot about it, and I'm just like, there's no way that a first level character, unless he does a lot of hiding behind this 8th level fighter with 85 hit points,
on his back.
Yeah, exactly. That there's no way that character's going to survive unless he goes way the hell out of his way to stay out of combat. And if he does that, he's not going to get the XP for it.
And if you think logically, what party would drag along a first level?
Those who are easily amused.
Let's toss him into the room, see if there's any traps.
That's not true. Many a time my 8th level fighter has turned to look at the rest of the hardened, grizzled adventurers that he calls friends of equal or higher level and goes, my backpack's kind of heavy. Should we go into town and get a level 3 guy?
I was going to say, I have one word for you all. Nodwick. Enough said.
Yeah, mine would have been golf caddy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It looks like it's a 5-hit dice troll in a cave of ice. I suggest the +3 firebrands. Good choice.
Yes, hand me the +3. You know what? That's actually pretty funny.
Give me my mashy niblet. Yeah. Got it. What about you, Allison? How do you start them off?
I would say between 3rd and 5th.
That sounds about right. I mean, Brian's game, we started 3rd, so.
Yeah. Well, actually, now I remember there was one game that I was going to run with a bunch of friends, and Allie was in that gaming group, where I was going to bring Allie's characters in at 5th level. As a matter of fact, I remember the characters, but it was just so that those characters can keep up with the party, they can contribute, and be able to do their own thing without having to just hang back with the mage and do fire support, even though they're like, a first level fighter with like 14 hit points or something like that.
I will add to my opinion, though, that I do suggest if somebody's coming into the party late and they're like, yeah, I'll join. I want to join. Yeah, well, you're going to be a little bit lower than everybody else. That's all right. I don't suggest them being a frontline fighter. I do tell them that. I'll be like, be a cleric, because you know what? A 3rd level cure spell is just the same as a 5th level cure spell if it's coming, it's the same level spell, just from a different level person.
That's true.
You just sit back and you can help.
Now, Brian, you said you had a second question?
Yes, he did.
It
says, second, I'm planning to use my homebrew campaign setting and was debating on allowing select kits for each class and races available to the group to choose from. Is this idea too restrictive or reintroducing to the group to the wonders of 2nd edition goodness? Any advice and suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, DM Ray on OSR forums.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, DM Ray. You rock.
Yep. Yeah, one of our contributors.
That a lot depends on, if you want to run house rules as opposed to giving them free reign in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That depends on the players, absolutely. because there are some players who I wouldn't allow free reign if they had a gun to my head and said, I want to play whatever I want to play and you're going to allow it. I'd be like, blow my brains out.
That's when you lock up your splat books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I have free reign?
No, we've already got your character done. And if you're gonna bring
up the wand of chromatic orbs one more time,
one more time, don't make me turn this car around. Wait,
I will turn this campaign right around.
And we will go back to town.
You will all go down to the ninth layer of hell if you do not stop. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, if the player can be responsible and not min-max, or at least not obviously min-max, I should use that word obviously, because there are some who are just so blatant about it that I'm just like, you know what? Let me see your character sheet for a second, and they'll be like, yeah, everything looks in order. Throw it in the garbage. Start over. And this time, don't try to be so blatant about it. But I mean, if a player has has a decent concept for a character, I will run with it. I'm pretty liberal that way. Excuse me.
Okay. I'm kind of on the fence on it. It's one of those, depends on the person, case by case basis thing.
Yeah, it should be.
There's people I trust in.
Sense? Does the character make sense?
That too.
Yeah.
Or is it just something that's so totally out there that it's just so off the wall? It wouldn't gel.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna bring another game system up, and I don't care, because I'm going to talk once more about my 12 years of playing Champions, which I think has refined my eye.
Glenn, can I say something?
Go ahead.
No, that's where your bread is buttered. Go right ahead. Don't let the people. Don't let those emailers discourage you.
That's okay. But what I'm saying, I think those 12 years refined my eye to look at a character sheet saying, okay, this concept holds together. This doesn't. If it doesn't hold together, it's like take away this, or redo the character.
Right.
I know people who are, I can look at a character sheet and decide, okay, you're trying to get the cost break here or the damage break here. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no.
Yeah, they're trying to gimp the system.
Right. I can tell when they're gimping the system now.
Gimping the Simpson? Yeah,
I have a cold. I'm gimping the symptoms.
That's a great one.
Yeah. They're nerfing it. So, yeah, I'm of that mind.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. See, the problem is that as we've heard so many horror stories on the message boards about those who are just like, they want to play A, the DM says, no, that's too over the top or too powerful or too whatever. Let's compromise to B, and this is the kind of guy who, for whatever reason or another, he may have been spoiled as a child, or he's just an out-and-out nutcase, to where he's never been told no in his life. I mean, we've read stories about that. And there are those guys, it's like, look, we're here to have fun, and we're here for everybody to have a turn in the spotlight, have a chance to shine. If I let you run this, you're going to basically be dominating the game. Everyone else is not going to be happy, and we can work with this and kind of tone it down a little bit so that you're not always in the forefront, because unfortunately this is D&D. This isn't a Greek chorus.
Yeah. Right. And they want to be the god character,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to be a Greek first.
Yeah.
It would seem so, Socrates. Yes, you are so correct, Socrates. Things like that. But
yeah. I mean, everybody can't be Batman. Fantasy, everybody can't be Drizzt.
That's right. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
I was going to say Wolverine, but I know he came Batman.
Oh, I love Wolverine. Anyway.
Too many people do. That's why you see him too. It's like Drizzt. You see too many Drizzt in D&D.
Okay. Glenn, you're going to have to come up with a bumper for it. It's time for Brian's Confessions.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
Just up there. Thank you, Corey.
the Hawaii Five-O theme by the Ventures. Perfect.
I'm gonna have Corey in the back. No, I'm gonna have Corey in the back going. Time for Brian's good.
Oh,
Sombrero.
yeah, exactly. But anyway, I did make a Wolverine character. Absolutely. 38th, from first edition in my Power Gaming days, 38th level fighter, unbreakable skeleton with the claws that did, like, if I remember correctly, 2 to 20.
Ow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're confessing. Never mind. I'm not going to do it.
No,
This is-
come on, out with it.
Oh, doing it.
Come
You're
on.
gonna have to wait. I made Batman when I was little.
It's okay. We all did that kind of stuff.
No, but my older cousins that got me into D&D, they're like, "Come on, you want to play D&D? It's a really cool game. You get to like swords and stuff like in those movies, like Dragon's Lair that we showed you." And I'm like, "I want to be Batman." They're like, "No, you gotta like I'm an evil guy, like that guy on that video game you like, Dragon's Lair." I'm like, "I want to be Batman." They're like, "Come on, really?" I'm like, "I want to be Batman."
I never did
I did
Batman.
It's like younger.
I never did Batman or anything like that, but I did do the Three Robotic Stooges. So
I mean,
does that count?
kind
I
of.
don't think I've ever done
No.
it consciously.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Well-
the first D&D character I ever made, his name was Yoda. Enough said.
Okay.
That- 1981. So
Goblin Psychosis.
he
One of
should have
my
been.
first was named Camera, and he was a cleric. I don't.
So I mean, but yeah, I mean, we've all done the Power Gaming trip. But getting back to the point,
Oh, my closest on that was Raven.
To me,
yeah, I
let
remember.
me answer his second question. My opinion, I had a guy who joined our group, came over here with one of those friends of a friend that heard we were playing D&D. Wanted to come
Oh yeah.
Can I say
Those never
something real
work out
quick?
well.
Can I
Go
say
ahead.
something real quick? Isn't there nothing worse, be it a D&D game, a party, or any sort of social gathering when somebody brings a friend of a friend?
Yeah.
Is there nothing on the planet worse? I mean,
It never works out.
no. I mean,
So
yeah,
is
I
this-
have a really bad story about it, but let's continue.
This guy
Yeah.
came over and he's like, "Oh, you guys play D&D?" And I'm like, "We're like, yeah." He's like, "What version?" I'm like, "We play second." He's like, "Oh man, I like 3.5." I'm like, "Oh, Power Gamer." Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, exactly. The little red light on the
Little
wall goes
Enterprise
off.
siren goes off.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
In D&D for so long, I gotta tell you, my worst thing that I could ever hear is, "Let me tell you about my awesome character. I don't level 35 half-orc kung fu martial artist with feats that are like spike chain exotic weapon and you can like trip," and I'm like, I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Yeah, but
He decides to join our group and he makes a thief and he's like, "Yeah, I always play this thief." And I'm like, "You always play what thief?" He's like, "Yeah, this thief I'm gonna make. He's gay and he's a pacifist." I'm like, I'm
wonderful.
okay with the gay section, the gay thing, but what's with the pat? He goes, "Oh, he just likes to walk around and play his guitar." That's the guy that got cut in
That's
half
a
by-
bard. I'm
Yeah, that's a bard for sure.
sorry. He's got the wrong class.
Yeah, no
Yes.
doubt.
Yeah.
So literally, that's the one. You remember I told you that somebody got cut in half?
That was
Yeah.
him.
That was him.
Good for him.
That's what happens when you don't play a bard correctly.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Right through the
I-
mandolin.
want a power game. I just because essentially when I see the abuse in game, they get punished, and I want them ahead of time. If you make your character the way you want and it doesn't fit with my campaign, you will be re-rolling another character.
Yeah, very
That's-
shortly.
Everybody at my table usually looks at them and goes, "Dude, he's not joking around."
No, he's
'Cause everybody might- I'll kill your character, and I have a wall with everybody's character sheets up on the wall with a drawing over their character sheet of how their character died. I will
Yep.
put it on the
I
OSR
like that.
form so everybody can see, because I'll just
I
point
want
to
to
the
see. Yeah, I want
I want
to
to
see
see
that.
this.
Oh,
That's it for the emails, right?
yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, if you guys have any questions, comments, or any kind of brickbats, send it to thacoshammer@gmail.com or 405-826-0555.
806.
I'm getting better.
No, you're not.
You do it.
405-806-0555.
Thank
give
you.
up the last 5 for savings.
Yeah. Extra E for extra. Well, anyway.
E for
Let's go on to it's in the book.
you ever go to school, stupid?
Yeah, and I come out the same way.
Is that your idea of an idea?
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Navigation underground.
Yes.
Well, bring a light.
Yeah. If you don't have infravision, bring a light. Next segment. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a topic that I was just thinking about. You know, when back in the day when Corey and I were just putting topics on our little Google
Googly.
a little googly eyes thing for our show ideas. I mean, as a DM, how do you handle it? I mean, it's very easy. At least for me, I'll start it off. It's easy to get lost. If you don't have direction sense as an NWP, you can almost guarantee you're going to get lost. Right. Unless, of course, you do some Hansel and Gretel kind of stuff. I'm not even saying breadcrumbs, but maybe even like,
scratches in the wall, in the cave walls and stuff.
Right. Just
iron rations, believe me, nobody will eat them.
He's right.
In dungeons where we've had to mark the walls.
Yeah. And and don't use string, because as soon as you start laying down string, there's going to be a troll behind you winding the string back up. Taking that picture from the 1E DMG, thank you. But I mean, as far as, I'm not even talking about dungeons, because that's fairly easy. Left, right, the upper left, upper right, whatever.
You need to mark something.
Right. I mean, but like when you are in, the Underdark, let's say, that's going to be, and you want to know what? To me, it's one of those things that's really overlooked by a DM, because let's just say, for argument's sake, that they're going through like Vault of the Drow or something like that, and where they've got to navigate this huge Drow enclave, settlement, city, whatever, and they're just wandering around the Underdark just to get there. To me, that's where the fun begins, because they can get lost real easy.
Oh, yeah.
And, and it's one of those things where a party has to prepare. They need a way of marking their way without...
Lack of landmarks.
Yeah. And they can't drop flares like Ripley and Aliens. Yeah, I just thought of that. And it's one of those things where this is where the DM gets to have fun, because if they get lost underground, that's when all kinds of nastiness can, have their way with the party.
Well, not only that, even when you're lighting your way, you are signaling where you are to beasties and things that are running around in those caves.
Yes.
Or in the Underdark, or wherever
you already
you
have infravision.
Yes, 99% of them have infravision or some way of navigating without sight. Yes. And
so if you're a human down there, you've got your torch. You're a beacon.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if anything, that could translate to...
I'd say that doubles your chances for encounters.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. But yeah, I would say, that's... If you were feeling rather sadistic, sure.
That don't sound good.
No, that ain't us. and the man who likes taking off limbs is strangely silent.
Oh no. I'm just giggling with thoughts and ideas, because when everybody goes excursioning down in the dungeons, everybody only brings enough food that they think they'll need.
Yeah.
No one ever goes, well, if I get lost, I'm going to be lost for a couple days. Let me grab a couple extra. No.
It's going to be probably another week.
Donner, party of 8. I mean 7. I mean 6. I mean 5.
Your daughter died of dysentery.
I guess now we got to eat it,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if they thought that way, they would have brought the double amount of torches, too. So
yeah, or at least extra oil for their lanterns, which should be shuttered. Need to be shuttered so that you don't attract so many people or
make
so
sure
many
the
monsters.
wizard has a sling so he can take like light a pot of oil and sling it on the ceiling in case there's any grill up there,
or piercers for that matter.
I'd be more worried about.
Not to mention the stuff that comes up from the ground.
Yeah.
As they feel your vibrations as you walk across their territory.
You mean like Umber Hulks?
Yeah.
Or giant worms.
Or Zorn, for that matter.
Heads or whatever I can never pronounce it.
What's that?
The heads.
Oh, eggs.
Yeah,
Egg
okay.
heads.
I can never pronounce it, but you know what I mean.
Said hopheads.
No,
Those freaking hopheads.
always coming up from the ground. Man, I swear, why am I down here?
Yeah, it comes up from the ground. It's like, hey, man. Good leg.
Yeah, $1.
Got a couple gold pieces, man.
Got Cheetos. I got the munch real bad.
I was a veteran in the last Orc War, man. Come on. My regiment kicked me out because I lost a leg. You have 2 perfectly functioning legs. I met a cleric who regenerated it, man. Sorry. I
can't fit the man. Anyway.
Oh man, but I mean, that's the whole thing. As far as that, I mean, as a DM, now handling as a DM, of course, you're going to ask if anybody here has direction sense. Can't use navigation because you won't be able to see the stars.
No, the only guy with direction sense found his sense was enough that he didn't go in the dungeon.
He stayed above ground, exactly.
I have direction sense.
I'll meet you guys on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun down there. Anyway, yeah, but I mean, as far as that goes, you just have to, just take stock of what your characters have in the way of surviving down there. Hopefully you have a cleric that can cast create food and water because you're going to run out, at least enough to keep you guys alive, unless of course you want to start, going all man versus food and start eating all kinds of weird insects and bugs.
We killed it, now I got to eat it,
Looks like there's a storm coming. Better drink my own pee.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I think that's a line in every episode of Man vs. Wild. Bear Grylls has an affinity for drinking his own urine.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I was lost in a cave, I'd probably do the same, but,
as long as you're sitting in an air-conditioned room,
yeah,
surrounded by your stuff, and you have a job, you got ways and means of paying for your stuff, you're not going to think of that. You're going to make fun of it.
I get this image of this fighter in his civvies, all bruised and dirty and stuff, holding up a dead rust monster. Hey, we got dinner!
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
right.
much, yeah.
Well, let me ask this. Going on with the topic here, let's go around the table and see, Brian, what do you do as a player besides getting underground navigation? What would you do to better yourself underground and make sure you stay alive?
First thing, have a means of finding egress, the quickest egress. That's whether it's Undermountain, the Underdark, whatever, even like larger dungeons. Make sure to know where you're going and where the exit is at all times in case you have to run pell-mell for it.
This isn't like yelling fire in a theater. It's hard to find the exit a lot of times.
Yeah. There are no red signs with exit above them.
They're just in drow.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can't.
What's that say? I think it says danger. Do not go this way.
Yeah.
All right, we go the other way.
Exactly. But I mean, aside from that, making sure that you've got enough food and water to last, and if not, you cajole your party cleric into having a create food and water spell every, or at least 2. Make sure to keep you guys alive. If you've got a portable hole, which is the adventure, you know what? I shouldn't even talk about it because I can go into a whole thing about portable holes. But make sure you have enough spares of almost everything, just in case. I mean, we're talking spare clothes, spare weapons. Sure. You may not be able to carry spare armor, but just make sure to have enough to survive. And when you're actually navigating, yes, somehow, some way, find a way to mark where you're going, because.
And not like wolves.
No. Well, oh God, can you imagine that? It would be effective, I'll say that. But yeah, that'd be a little gross. But anyway, find a way to, just so that you don't, if you do get lost somehow, you can find your way back on the path to where you want to go underground. Because unless you're a drow or dwarf or a deep gnome or something like that, you are in an alien environment.
You are.
Yeah, and that cannot be overstated. You are out of your element. This is like one step removed before going to a level of the abyss or something like that.
Right. See, for me, what I do, anytime anybody's like, yeah, I'm going to DM and we're going to go underground, we're going to go fight drow or dwarves or whatever, Iliophids. First thing my character gets, cartography. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Cartography.
Yeah.
Proficiency is priceless when you're underground. Get some ink and some quills, but the other thing that I make sure I pick up equipment-wise is chalk.
Yeah.
Marking chalk on the walls. Yeah, we've been down this way. Put an X on the wall. That way you know. So any of you players out there listening, looking for a good way to stay alive underground, pick up marking chalk or some sort of marking utensil or instrument. Yeah, something that you can mark the walls with or denote which way you're coming through.
Right.
I will. I don't know why I didn't think of this before.
What's that?
I will beg, borrow, or steal me a. I want to say portable hole, but it's not a portable hole.
Bag of holding?
The bag of holding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beg, borrow, or steal a bag of holding and fill it with water.
Well, seriously, that's one of your biggest worries is water.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And also, I would see about some kind of non-weapon proficiency if you could double as like a water witch.
Yeah,
divining for water.
Yep, I have
because that's your number one problem being somewhere like that.
Yeah, and see the thing is about D&D, it's not quite like modern day spelunking, where you're having to squeeze through really, really, really tight areas to get to wherever you need to go, because most DMs don't want to deal with that. And quite honestly, as a player, I'd be a little irritated if someone was being that exacting in describing the environment. But oh god, I just lost my train of thought. Massive derailment in the track yard. It's. Go ahead, Corey, because I just completely lost what I was going to say.
Oh no, I was just going to say that I also find it important when you're underground. It's like never forget to bring enough, especially if you're a human or a demi-human like a half-elf. You want to bring wood or some sort of combustible oil or something, because you are going to stay alive only if you can see. And yeah, like Allison said, you are a big beacon to the monsters out there.
Yes.
But the other thing is, if you can't see to run away, you're dead anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you do need to see. Yeah, warmth too.
Underground is cold. You need, you need a way to keep yourself warm.
That's right. The only time you got to worry is when you're underground and it's getting warmer.
Yeah, because you're coming close on.
Then you're too far down.
Oops, too low.
That's right.
Hey, I'm sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd bring marshmallows, too, at that point.
Was that a bone devil I just saw? We're too low. Let's get out of here.
Are we? The other thing, something that I would personally do.
What's that?
Fungus. Learn what is edible.
Yes.
And what is not.
Yes.
Any kind of underground plant.
Herbalism, plant
herbalism
identification.
What's medicinal and what is edible.
Yep. What's mushroom soup out of the mushrooms and the water in your bag of holding is a lot better than having to drink your own pee.
That is true. And telling between the mushrooms that make good mushroom stew and the mushrooms you can just eat and get high. I mean, you can use
or
both.
The mushrooms that you
can
eat, they'll kill you.
Medicinal. Medicinal.
The ones
medicinal. Yes.
I'm sorry. I've just got this picture of a party being been underground for several days, and then the cleric with herbalism fails his check, but not by much, so that the mushrooms and lichens he found doesn't kill the party, but they do end up tripping.
That'd be funny.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
That's going to end up in somebody's dungeon, I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Dude, you killed Dave. What do you mean? I didn't kill Dave. I killed that half-orc that came out of those shadows. I was Dave coming back from peeing. Now we don't got a cleric. Man, you're crazy. Why do you have purple ears, dude? These mushrooms are awesome.
Dude, you're not an elf. You're a drow. I'm going to kill you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, the elf takes the shrooms and is like, I'm in love, Jim. Oh, man. Yeah.
That took a hard right turn, didn't it?
It sure did. Boy, oh boy. Why don't you guys tell us more about how do you prepare for underground stuff, navigation, and preparedness?
And how do you run it?
And also, one more thing.
Yes.
Once again, I'm going to push Aurora's Whole Realms catalog.
Once again.
Excellent for this kind of stuff.
Thacoshammer is brought to you by Aurora's Whole Realms catalog.
Your whole commercial.
And remember, when you're too poor to buy from Aurora's Home Realms, go into the Dragon magazine and look for Murdy's Mystical Menagerie of Mundane Magic Items.
Wow. Say that 5 times fast.
We're going to have to do a whole segment.
All these names are like a mouthful.
We're going to have to do a whole segment on Murdy, just Murdy stuff alone, a whole show. It's
done. Done. I can do that. You give me. I'll find out. Well, while we're doing this, I'll find out the issue, and we'll put it up for our, if not our next episode, the one after.
Anyway, you tell us all about it. Thacoshammer@gmail.com. Let's do the list.
Hold on.
USRgaming.org.
It's D20radio.com.
Planet8DND.com.
Dragon's Foot, Purple Worm.
Strolling Citadel.
Strolling Citadel.
And the Piazza.
And the
excuse me.
Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, that's boy. It. We got them all.
Let's go on to Rule 0.
0, 0, 0. One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Rule 0, time in the campaign. Now, are we talking about the campaign or underground?
In the campaign in general, I mean, it can go from, say, if you go underground, how long does your time pass? How do you handle it when you're traveling? Let's just start with the basic one first. How you handle it when you're traveling over land.
Right.
I mean, this kind of ties together with a previous segment we did about the encounters, how often, random wilderness encounters. Yeah, we did that back in episode 32. But as far as, the time passing, if the party journeys to a dungeon, how do they, through what method do they use, how long does it take them to get there? When they get to the dungeon and they go down into it, I mean, how do you handle, the passage of time?
There are no clocks, and you can't see the sun.
Very true.
Yes.
Unless somebody has, what is that proficiency? Time sense, I think?
Something like that.
Time sense.
I don't really...
What's that, Allie?
I have time sense. In real life, I have time sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, what is... I tend to make time kind of flexible or not think of it at all.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's how I used to do it.
And I did...
What'd you do, Allie?
I basically, if it's overland and it's not so much important to the campaign how they get there as to what happens when they get there, I tend to roll several encounters and it's lunch. I roll several encounters and it's dinner, and kind of push that along.
Kind of hand wave it a little.
Yeah. And because they need to get to where they're going.
Right.
Now, if getting there is as much a part of it as actually what happens when they're there, then that is more controlled.
Yeah. after all, getting there is half the fun.
Oh. Every great journey begins with
a lot of parties would disagree with you.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
We played a couple of games like that, haven't we, Allie?
Yes.
Watch out, I'm going to bring up the 2-day swamp again.
That's classic. This segment is brought to you by Glen's 2-day swamp. No matter what direction you go in, it takes 2 days to cross it.
That's right.
We've all made that mistake, Glenn. It's all right.
Yeah, that's why I said time is kind of flexible. I think for most GMs it is.
Mhm.
Most GMs it is.
Right.
Because, to me, it's driven by the set encounters and the random encounters. Not by what time. I mean, what time of day it is and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's noon. And there are certain encounters that can't happen unless it's like night.
Yeah.
Or, in the middle of the day or morning or overcast or I got this pole stuck up my, that kind of.
Whoa, what kind of adventures are you having?
I don't want to know.
Interesting.
Just be safe about it, Glenn. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Tripped himself on a... never mind.
Ate a bad mushroom and decided you wanted to sheath swords.
Wow.
I felt when I was high. Those piercers.
I was really happy with you on that account, yeah.
So while those piercers go on the bottom,
Whoa. Whoa.
Leave the halfling here. We're just going to impale him on a friggin' piercer.
Has the tinge of the episode turned slightly blue? Yes.
I want to...
Better than green.
True. Or polka dot or plaid.
I was going with the whole beyond the green door, but...
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
We were heading to a more mature direction. I was going with the shade of the door being green.
Ah.
Of course you were.
Doctor, it was worse when I hit the end of the chain. Anyway.
Oh, man. All right.
I don't know what that was, but okay.
It sounded funny.
It was very funny.
Yes.
Tell you later. Anyway.
Okay.
Tell me when I'm older.
Time.
Time, oh, give me time. Oh, sorry.
I will say for my portion of the input for this segment, I don't deal with time as far as, oh my God, an hour and a half has gone by. Oh my God, it's 5 a.m. and you guys are still awake underground and don't realize it. It's more.
Yeah.
It depends on whether the journey itself is the key to the adventure or they need to be at a location at a certain time, then the time comes into play. Otherwise, I do like Alice says, and I just hand wave it. Okay, big deal, you've been down here. Now, one of the players goes, hey, we need to be out of here in 6 weeks and get back before the daughter of the king gets married.
If there's a timeline,
then I'll definitely keep track. But if the player comes up to me and goes, hey, in 4 days, because I'm a cleric, my God's holy days in 4 days, I need to know when 4 days is. Then I'll make a note to make sure to tell them. But other than that, the time is lost to the player, to me as a DM as it is to the players. I'll just let it go.
You know what is also, time can be of a benefit to a DM depending on, it can be plot related.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. That game I want to run in North Texas, the basic game, it's a cattle drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the players will either be with the drive or the foreman's going to send them out and do some scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, say they're a day out from the herd, from where the herd's going, and they have an encounter or something, they have to do something. They always know, no matter what they're doing, that herd's coming.
Yeah.
So at a certain time, that herd's coming, so they have to, get whatever is done or accomplished, or make sure the pass is clear by the time that those steers get there.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna stop.
That's what I meant when I said if getting there is as important as being there.
Right.
You have to. Then you really have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Right, but that's a good thing as far as the GM goes. It keeps the players on their toes and it keeps the game going, basically.
Right. Yeah, there are quite a few adventures that are, time critical. Like the party just cannot afford to dilly-dally or get sidetracked. They need to get from A to B to do C, go to D, then get back to A before this time. Mm-hmm. And, that's
the
only
eclipse of the sun, or whatever
Right.
is going to go down,
Right,
that they
right.
have to stop or be at.
Yeah, and that's when I think as a DM you have to at least have either you do it or have one of your trusted players do it to keep track of the passage of time. Because, you have to do all these things, then come back and be back by this day, then it's something that needs to seriously be kept track of. Otherwise, days pass, you ride, you run into some things, most of them don't want to mess with you, maybe some harmless animals, then you get there. Then you can just say, okay, time passes, you get there.
So the conclusion pretty much is that most of the time is flexible, until the DM determines it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When critical point.
And like I was trying to tell you, done right, this could be a very good trick in the DM's arsenal.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Of running the game. If done right, they can use it as on their side.
Yeah, as long as the players don't suspect they're being railroaded.
Herded in such a,
Yeah.
It's such a nasty word.
Yes, it is.
What, herded?
No, railroad.
Same thing.
That's why.
In RPGs, the railroad is a curse word. It's an 8-letter word.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it is 8 letters.
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest fighter in this drawer.
So grammar. Anyway,
not the sharpest arrow in the quiver.
Quiver.
Huh?
In the crayon box. I put my arrows in a crayon box. No one expects it.
with the little hole at the bottom to sharpen them.
Yep.
Corey, can I freshen your drink?
No, I'm good. I just got another one.
Okay.
Wow. So somebody's.
I had my drink when I went and put Liam back to bed.
So if you guys want to tell us how to handle time, how you handle time, Thacoshammer@gmail.com and the usual places.
Yep.
Let's go on to Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers, Magic Missile.
Yes.
There's a basic spell right there.
Magic missiles from my magic fingers.
Yeah. First level spell, of course.
Yep.
Range 60 yards by 10 yards per level.
Yep.
It's easy to cast because you don't need no material any continuation components. Casting time 1.
Yep.
And it gets stronger the higher you go.
That's right. Here's something. One or more. The area effect is one or more creatures in a 10-foot cube. Yep. So you don't have to aim it at somebody, just that area.
Yep.
It's an FAF spell, sir. Fire and forget.
Yep. Yeah, you target.
What? We'll go, okay, I'm going to hit that guy with Magic Missile. Don't hit the guy, hit the area. You probably get 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That also is going to depend on your level. If you're a first or second, you've only got a couple missiles. But when you get to 9th or 10th,
right,
you can actually divide your missiles.
Yeah, you can split them up. Oh, and this goes back to now the book says you have a maximum of 5 at 9th level. Do you observe that? I know your answer, Corey. And
you know what? At 10th, you get 10 missiles, 1 out of each finger. At 15th level, after that, you start firing out of your toes too.
Yeah, well, we don't want to know what happens at 21st level.
Now you got to pull it back.
Then I'm getting Corey's magic nipples.
That's 23rd level. 23rd. Anyway, the thing about the spell is that you have to select a target. The target. If you're going to select multiple targets, that's when the cube comes into play. Right. That's not like you can go. I'll cast a magic missile at that guy over there. Then I'll cast that one at that archer way up on this. I'm going to cast at these 3 doors.
Area.
Yeah.
But the great thing about magic missile,
it
never misses.
Never.
That's very true.
Yep.
And Frank Metzer, I think it was Frank Metzer who came out and admitted Frank Metzer was the one who came out and admitted that he was the one who made it that way.
Good. Frank.
I love Frank.
Used to have to correct me, Frank, if I'm wrong, or whoever did it, but I'm pretty sure it was Frank. And before that, you had to roll to hit.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because Wizards have the worst combat progression of all the classes.
And
I can see that spell maybe using
shitty
fighters.
decks because you sacrificed it for your intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna hit if you have to roll. You're just not.
Yeah,
well,
unless you generate.
I think if you had to roll for that spell, I think that you should have used a fighter THACO of equal level. If I'm a level 6 wizard, let me use a level 6 fighter THACO.
Mm-hmm. That's a good compromise.
But no, I like it the way it is, Frank. Thanks, buddy. We never misses because my favorite thing to do is use the wizard as a scout, peek him around the corner. What do you see? 4 goblins. All right, fire around the corner. Just stick his arm around the corner and just say the spell.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Pow. Yeah, and then next.
So if you get your hand chopped off in certain places in Corey's dungeon,
sewers. Don't go in Corey's sewers.
Yeah, if you get it bit off and you got like a stump there now, can you fire like one massive magic missile out of the stump?
Turn it into a shotgun.
Mortar. Hello.
Think about it. A mage's hands, they're the same as a surgeon's hands.
Yep.
A mage loses a hand. A mage loses his ability to cast most of his spells.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you find a dark elf that allows them to recreate adamantium limbs.
Allie, you are way no fun.
What? But it's true. It means you have to protect.
God.
Or you find a psionicist that will allow you to graft a limb onto your limb and allow you to reconnect it through psychic surgery. Then you have a mongrel arm on your left cast spells.
You really need a good cleric now, yeah.
And if it really has a sense of humor, you'll graft it onto your forehead.
Yeah.
I hate you. You wake up, I hate you.
You're despicable.
I am not paying you.
Can you graft it to my hip? I'm wearing robes from now on.
Third arm, what?
Yes.
Yeah, but you need that slit up the side, you know.
Well, it gives a whole new meaning of the term shooting from the hip.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but I mean, this is, at least to me, this is one of the mages. Every mage character I've either played or run, this is one of the first spells they want.
Oh, yeah.
Because
when you're low level, that's one of your only damage spells.
Right.
Hit them before they hit you.
Yeah, exactly. Or, well, although in my old age, sleep has replaced magic missile as number one, because if you're at low level, you want to affect a lot of enemies, and make yourself look good.
Magic missile, I can understand that.
Yeah, that's more up close and personal. Let's say.
Now, for me personally, I allow my characters to affect their spells, and essentially, once they hit level 6, I can personalize them. So I got guys firing like pink glittery ones, and guys firing. I got ones firing like blue lightning ones. I when I first heard that spell, the first thing I thought of was like the wizard like conjuring like a Patriot missile, like a shoulder mounted. Like when I was young, I thought, wow, you get to fire missiles in fantasy. This is awesome. My friend's like, no, dude, a missile's like an arrow. I'm like, oh.
Shoulder-mounted RPG.
Dude, that's awesome. That's what I'm saying.
Just for you, we'll come up with the magic law.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all right with that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as an aside, how many of you either had in their game or wanted the magic missile longbow?
Never heard.
You mean from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon that Eric fired, or what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Hank.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be.
I lightning bolt.
Hold it. What?
I take it back. Yeah, I put that in a game. Somebody found it in a dungeon in one of my games I ran.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest things. It was the best use of magic missile I've ever seen by a non-mage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the other thing about the magic missile spell, getting back to it, it doesn't affect non-living things or inanimate objects.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my problem with that spell and that bow that you were talking about.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, say a level 6 wizard created that bow. Just say.
Okay.
The magic missile spell during the creation of the bow was level 6.
Okay.
How much damage would that bow do per missile?
1 to 4.
So, would I rather use that or would I rather fire a D8 Sheaf Arrow?
Because there are some things that you need to affect by magic.
Magic? Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Now I see.
Because unless your sheaf arrow has silver heads, it's not going to do a thing to that werewolf.
I gotcha.
Or that,
Yeah, but you can always use the fire trap arrows and light them on fire.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Oh, DM Cal. Thanks.
Follow it up with one of chromatic orbs, or if it's full-on gamer, fireball or lightning bolt.
Yeah, it must go boom. It must go zap.
Your area effect spells, they can backlash at your party. A magic missile spell is not going to backlash at your party.
Unless, of course, you have spell turning.
Oh, that's true, but,
Our favorite monster, the Death Knight, imagine you cast magic missile at it and you rolled like an 05 for its magic resistance. Gets reflected right back at you. Now what are you going to do?
True.
Say, thank you, sir. May I have another?
20 hit dice fireball. How about that? Boom. Nighty-night.
No, my favorite thing to do instead of that bow is the Wand of Magic Missiles. I just think the Wand of Magic Missiles is just awesome.
Yeah.
Very precious.
You give the wizard a Wand of Magic Missiles around level 3 or something. He is hugging that thing. He's loving it.
Definitely.
Well, yeah.
It's just a really cool object.
He will sleep with that thing under his pillow, or her pillow in my case.
I know what you're thinking, punk. Did he fire 4 magic missiles or only 3? But being this is the Wand of Magic Missiles, the most sought-after wand in the world, and will burn your eyes clean out, you have to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Because I took luck as a proficiency. Nah.
We are having too much fun, folks. This I haven't laughed this much in an episode in quite some time. Oh, my stomach hurts. Anyway,
you stick in the mud. Okay.
Hey. Be nice.
Hey.
Yeah, be nice, Raj.
Hey, you gotta be nice to them now.
Yes.
Cool. Magic missile stories. Come on. How have we used them creatively? I mean, other than the wizard is scout.
Mm-hmm. The wizard becomes the archer once he's able to fire a few of these off. But I mean, the only other thing is like I've said before, the limitation of the missiles. I mean, I've seen 20th level mages fire off like a dozen of these things, just pointing at him and just machine gun style.
Right.
But
work.
Yeah.
A lot of magic missiles and a Gatling gun.
Why not?
We'll have to say the best description visually that I've seen of magic missiles has to be from the PC game, Temple of Elemental Evil, the PC game. Those things fly like off the screen, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's the next. All of a sudden they come out of nowhere and like, bam, and you're like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's not like Baldur's Gate where it's just like these little globes that just hover around.
Magic missile is always heat-seeking.
Yes.
Yes. So you.
Now I have a question for you. If it's always heat-seeking, what happens when you have something like an animated skeleton that doesn't offer heat?
Well, you light it on fire.
Get out your flask of oil. Yeah, exactly. And now it's lit up. Okay, go for it.
Actually, what you do is you throw down a torch and you cast Command Undead. Pick that up. Thank you.
Retrieve. Yes. Oh, man.
Bring up they're not there again.
No. No. In a word, no.
Okay. The torch is there. No, it's not there. The torch is there.
Oh, boy.
What do we got next?
Okay. Yeah. So tell us about your magic missile stories. Thacoshammer.info. All right. Let us go on to the snipe hunt.
Yes.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Okay, we got Snipe Hunt for the ubiquitous orc.
Orcs, yes.
The default generic
everywhere.
Default goblinoid for D&D. And I even crack my voice saying that. We have orcs and orogs, and it is on page 281 of the Monstrous Manual.
Yes. Yeah, and everybody who's ever played D&D from, I'd say, the early 70s to 5 minutes ago,
yeah,
run into them.
Orcs.
Yep.
They have a section in the back.
Orcs are everywhere.
Yep.
They basically said they have a section in the back, a couple of paragraphs about half orcs in here. There's half orcs because 3 words: anything that moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've even said orcs are fecund. What does fecund mean? Anything that moves.
I thought it was they don't wipe their butt.
No. No, that's different. That's a different thing.
No.
So all orcs are vegan?
It doesn't matter what race it was.
Did you say all orcs are vegan?
No. Word makes it a lot easier.
Vegans. Oh God, stop it.
Sorry.
Oh man.
Always the poor woman. You know.
You darn orcs.
Hold it. One person at a time. Go ahead.
All right.
Allie, you first.
You rarely ever see a female orc giving birth to a half orc. It's always the poor human woman.
That's very true.
Has to give birth
She's absolutely right about that.
Yes.
Because once you go green, you rupture your spleen.
They'll rupture your spleen.
Oh God.
If they don't fit, you got to acquit. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Cochran.
If it does not fit, force it.
What?
I said. I said. I bet she was saying quit.
Yeah, that's what they were
If
saying.
it does not fit, force it.
Quit.
Yeah.
All right, we just lost our rating, but that's okay.
No, we didn't. We weren't graphic. We were just double entendre.
We're like school in the summertime.
We wanted to PG-13 for a minute there. We're coming back. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Orcs are as far as orc tactics and things goes.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how they cleaned up the kobolds and actually made them devious little guys?
Yeah.
You could do the same.
Can I tell you that I don't think that there was anything wrong with the kobolds that needed cleaned up?
You're true.
I agree.
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
I think they made the mistake when they turned them into lizards or turned them into dogs instead of the lizards that they were.
Yeah, cute little dogs.
No, lizards, the dogs they were, whatever they were.
You've been talking to Liz again, I see.
As far as orcs go, I mean, they have a lawful evil alignment, which means they're organized. They know how to fight in rank. They know they know tactics. I mean, the Siege of Helm's Deep is a classic example.
It's
So you're saying they're very organized.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if you can break their morale, then you've got your advantage.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. Late to the party comes Full On Gamer. Hi.
Hello.
Greetings, Gamer Nation.
I've been driving this joke train all by myself.
Yeah, it's been a joke train for sure. And now we have a record of how many of people on Thaco's Hammer with 5.
Yeah. Full On Gamer. Ellison.
One for every finger as you send the magic missiles. Yes.
Okay.
Listening.
Corey has to be the middle finger.
Yeah.
I'm the thumb because I'm the most useful. Anyway. Because without me, you can't grip anything.
Let OSR be the middle finger. I'll be the ring finger because I got class.
Oh.
I'm the ring finger.
I'll be the pointy finger. I'll be number 1.
Damn, Glenn, that leaves you being the pinky.
No, I'm the third leg.
Okay, we're not going there.
Oh, no. We've already went there.
Not till you wash it.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
oh, man. Anyway.
Orcs are kind of organized. If you get like a smart orog or a half orc behind them, look at.
Yeah, that's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, It's like I just said. I mean, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, that's just orc tactics at work. It's very brutal, but it's also very to the point, very organized. They know what they're doing. I mean, if there's one thing orcs know how to do, it's fight, because that's what they're bred for. And
they also appear to be good at logging.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Oh wow,
that's true.
But not good at hobbit babysitting.
No.
No. But remember, those were Urukai. Those were, was it orcs and goblins crossbred or something like that?
Urukai,
high orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Higher Orogs.
Yeah, Orogs, exactly.
Which are basically your basic Urukai.
Mm-hmm.
Smarter, faster, and all that.
Meaner.
Meaner. They're like the orcs part and let the champion come through.
Isn't the Orogs like bred with like demons?
I
am I thinking
think
no, those are I want to say
else.
Tanarooks.
No,
yeah, Tanarooks. You're right.
It says here they're a race of great orcs, possibly mixed with ogre blood.
Yes,
they're the big scary ones.
Now, there's something you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
Yeah, that's the half ogre, where the other half of the half ogre is orc, as opposed to when the other half of the half ogre is say Kinder. You don't want to know the story behind that.
He reaches in your pocket and he steals your spleen.
Exactly. Yeah, he steals body parts. He doesn't go for your gold or trinkets. He goes for the important stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at kidney. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I can get 50 gold pieces for this.
Yeah. And
dinner on the other side. Yeah.
And like roaches, you'll find them anywhere.
Yeah, any place at all.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever done your orcs differently?
No.
Oh yes.
I know you have. I mean, another one is like what Glenn said at the top of the segment, which was the Skrull, which are spell jamming orcs who are much more intelligent, have greater resources, are much more capable than your garden variety orc, but they can literally almost be campaign killers if the party messes up, because they are brutal. They have all kinds of interesting little trinkets and weapons that the normal adventuring party is not going to see.
They're like in space. They're like the Star
Warhammer Space Orcs.
I was thinking.
Yes.
Orcs spelled with a K.
Yes, with their leader being somebody like Nero, a very smart half orc.
Yeah, and it's like, it's one of those things where, I mean, we've all played. It's like I said in the beginning, full on. We've all played in games where the village is being raided by orcs, and we have to take care of them. I mean, it's just one of the staples in D&D that just goes all the way back to the beginning and comes all the way back to present day.
Right.
And it's one of the monsters that no matter what level the PCs are at, it doesn't matter that the orcs are one hit dice, because the higher in level the PCs are, you can just put in more of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been in campaigns where it's been myself and 5 other players against like 5,000 orcs, and we have to get them out of the region.
Yeah.
Now, I have upped dice on orcs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Depending on how high the players are. Mm-hmm. I've upped dice on some monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And that's
to make
perfectly
them comparable.
fine.
That's kosher.
You guys are going to find this out in my game. I up hit dice on all the humanoids. But yes, go ahead, Glenn.
No, I was just saying that I forgot what I was saying. Full on.
You can always have fun with orcs. You can either make your orcs be the ones that have, these aren't 8 hit dice orcs, they're 10 hit dice orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Or a D10 hit dice orcs.
I was like, wow,
you know what?
10 hit dice orcs, holy jeez.
No, that would be the other thing I said you could go into, where it is time to go and say, hey, these orcs are not just orcs, they're orcs with class.
Yeah, the fighter class. We're talking 10.
You can put kits on them.
Yeah,
Put
you could.
bits on them. Go into that Humanoids Handbook. Get yourself some of those orc champions, some of those orc pit fighters.
Mm-hmm.
You can have an amazing time with some of those kits tacked on top of these humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the southern section of my campaign.
And you can always have that shadow assassin.
Yep. Yep. You can do pretty much. This is one of those races you can literally come up with anything for.
And if you're an evil villain overlord type, they make great thugs and bodyguards.
Yep.
Easily.
If you want to have fun with that, I recommend.
Especially Orogs. What?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say. Go ahead, full on.
A couple of novels that I highly recommend. One of the ones right off the bat, Grunts. Grunts by Mary Gentle. It's all about the orcs being part of the great army of evil that happens to be dealing with this cursed dragon's horde.
Interesting.
The cursed dragon's horde was a time-traveling dragon who liked to collect memorabilia from across space-time, and he collected up a bunch of stuff. The curse on his horde is if you steal his stuff affects you.
Oh, kind of like the curse of the Black Pearl.
You stole.
Yeah.
So, when they steal a bunch of M16s, Marine uniforms...
Oh my God!
Lord, does the campaign world change?
Oh my God, that's awesome! Let me have the info for that. Can you IM me that? I want to see it.
Certainly.
I'm fascinated now. But something that Corey said about it was full on said with D10s, for hit dice. Look in, and we talked about this earlier, Glenn. Look in the Rollade supplement Dark Folk.
Right.
Because they have elite orcs who have D10 hit dice. I mean, I have no problem for if you're going up against a tribe of orcs. The bodyguards are going to have fighter levels. Mm-hmm. The sub-chiefs are going to have more fighter levels. And the chieftain himself is going to be at least 7th level with specialization.
That's when you manipulate them into fighting the Death Knight over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my campaign world in southern area, I actually have a pirate ship that literally floats around and is literally manned by freed orc slaves that literally will capture your women and make more orcs and half orcs. And they're literally classed and kitted.
And they'll actually intentionally kill your women and rape your cattle.
Correct. and ride off on your wives.
Yes. So orcs.
Yes.
Okay. You guys got orc stories. Of course you do.
Yeah.
My
send
God,
them.
I don't know who doesn't send them. THACOShammer@gmail.com. And the rest of it.
Yep.
Yes, sirree.
Yeah, bring them to us. We need them.
Well, it's full on. I'm sorry you got here so late, but we're about
better
to
late
close
than never.
That's okay.
Close another splat book.
He came in at the end at the dawn of the third day to the east on the hill.
Yeah.
He saved our bacons. It's all good.
Yep. The rider did make it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, he did find Aomer. Yes, he did.
Yes, for that matter, full on, you can say goodbye.
Have a fantabulous time, Gamer Nation. We'll see you on the other side.
Well, say goodbye, Allison.
Yeah, say goodbye to the internet, Allie.
Good night. Goodbye.
Cool. Corey?
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Keep them D20s rolling.
Okay, Brian, my man.
And avoid fumbling at all costs.
Thank you. And this is DM Glenn saying I'll see you next time when the hammer comes down on Thaco's Hammer. Bye-bye. You guys,
good night.
I swear, orcs.
What?
I need another drink.
There is a specific reason why Full On decided to take a half-orc as his character.
Yes.
So you can act all fruity. Yeah.
I do not act all fruity. No, I don't.
Thaco's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at Thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at Thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on Thaco's Hammer.